We are starting today's stream very seriously. So we are starting it from the Golden Duck Gallery in Budapest, and I'm Catherine Varadi, the founder and the owner of the gallery. And the subject of this stream is the upcoming event, which is very important in the life of not only our gallery, but also of Terra Varna Gallery in Los Angeles, because it's a collaboration named ArtBIAS. ArtBIAS because it's art like Budapest International Art Show, it's an abbreviation. And this year we will have the third occasion when we are having ArtBIAS in Budapest. And hopefully Dr. Niladri Sarkar, the founder and the owner of Terra Varna Gallery, is joining us today, because he is one of the members of this collaboration. But, you know, collaboration is always a beautiful word, but it's always about people. It's not like, oh, I'm talking about our gallery, how cool we are. We are cool, of course, it's no doubt at all, but we are cool because we have fantastic artists, fantastic community around us. And that is why we can develop and find out, invent different projects, such as ArtBIAS, for example, and other ones. And so we have invited today in our studio, in our gallery, fantastic, amazing artist, Mr. John Steffen from the United States of America. And we have a very tricky story of meeting each other. And I think it's like already becoming friends, because we know each other for 3 years already.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah. So, John, now I talk enough, women are always talking. So now it's your turn.
Okay.
Okay, so please start.
Well, first of all, I would say that, because I live on the same street as the gallery, I had been walking by the gallery, I don't know, 6 months, maybe even a year before I walked into the gallery. And then I met you just by coincidence, I think, on that day. And I remember specifically you were telling me to be proud that I was an artist, because you had this experience in the United States when you went there and you were an artist and they let you in.
Yeah.
So I left here thinking I'm an artist, and I walked outside and I stepped off the curb just outside of your doorstep, and a bird pooed on my shoulder. I knew that's good luck, and I think that comes from a Russian folktale, if I'm not mistaken. But I knew it was good luck, and I walked away going like, how can that happen? That you were just talking about being proud, and I stepped out, and then boop, and it's good luck. But that turned into better luck, because then I was able to participate in, I think, 2 of your exhibitions. One was the ArtBIAS, and then I think there was a second one, I don't remember, but I had my painting of a Medusa in...
I remember, yeah.
Yes, but I was really pleased with the painting that you picked for the first exhibit, and that was the painting of my wife. We'd had an argument, and she was lying on a chaise lounge and kind of had her head turned in anger or frustration, and I just took my emotions and started painting. And you felt that emotion.
Yeah, I wanted to. It was a very interesting story, because John's painting is something semi-abstract, semi-figurative.
Yes.
So you could understand that the figures, but I didn't see the name. I even don't remember if there was any kind of name, showing that it was an argument or nothing.
Right.
But I saw it and I felt this frustration, this anger, and I just thought that people there, the lady there, and she's feeling those emotions, and it's like a family problem, like a family quarrel. And
yes.
And it was so fantastic when I met you. And again, it was also tricky, because we had, it was our first really international project with ArtBIAS. And why it's so important, because when we have an European show, we are all in the European Union. That means that anyone can send us their artwork without any problems with customs, with VAT and so on. They just go, put it on FedEx or Post, and that's it. And with the US or Australia or any country from outside the European Union, it is always, it's not a big problem as we know now. But when you meet it for the first time, and especially for an artist, you know, oh God, how it's going to happen. And so I saw the name of John Steffen, and you were not the only American. And you said, oh God, how would we inform this guy how to ship and how to what to mention on the documents not to pay the Hungarian VAT immediately when his artwork comes. And then I was here in the gallery, and just a guy drops in and say, hi, I'm John Steffen. I said, from the United States? He says, yes, I live here in the neighborhood. So good, fantastic. So it's still like...
I hadn't even thought about all of the logistics of it.
Being American and not American. So in your case, everything was fantastic because we didn't have to make shipments, to think about customs clearance and so on. But actually the question what I want to ask you is, you know, you are an American artist. So it's like, for all of us here in Europe, America is like God's fields, you know, God's country where everybody loves art, everybody buys art, and everyone is interested in art. And still you are here in Hungary, and at the moment when we met you, you were not in the position that I'm, oh wow, I'm proud that I'm an American artist. So how is that from your point of view as an American artist?
Oh, no, that's an
Why do you need, or do you need an international building up of your career, going into other countries, or how it works in your life?
Well, I would have to back up a little bit and say that I really I did not paint seriously until I moved to Budapest. I had painted, but I painted only when I had time because I was working, And once I came to Budapest, and as you know, my wife doesn't live here with me, so I had a lot of time on my hands. And so painting was my form of keeping myself busy and occupied. But the notion of marketing myself was never really important for me. It was more about me trying to learn the task of painting. And out of that grew these opportunities. And the one thing that I would say in regard to your question is that prior to meeting you and getting to know the Golden Duck, I went around to some of the better known Hungarian galleries in the city. But what I quickly discovered was that despite the fact that I was an American, the Hungarians were really trying to promote Hungarian artists, which obviously they should because there's really talented Hungarian artists. But I didn't find my being an American of any great interest until I met you and then and came into this international art show. And that you gave me a credibility that I hadn't even found on my own here. It was through this gallery that I walked outside and said, I'm an artist.
But let's imagine that you live in the US and you're an artist. Do you think it's worth going outside the US to showcase yourself? Or maybe it's enough just to be there?
That's a really interesting question. I think how I would answer it is that, different cultures, different things appeal to different cultures, and unless you know the culture, I would think it would be more difficult. For example, take abstract painting. I'm not crazy about abstract painting, but a lot of people are. I have a friend in the United States who sells paintings left and right, and they're huge paintings for $6,000-7,000, and I'm going, why? I don't understand that as an artist. I understand the need for expression. But I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just that I think you need to know the context of the culture and the interpretation of things in cultures that you're sending them to. I was just lucky being here in Budapest and the way that we met and then the opportunities that came about as a result for me. And to take that one step further, one of the things that I can't say thank you enough for is the collaboration between yourself and Tara Varna. And I have a painting hanging in Manhattan, for goodness sake. As an American, what? I have a painting, because that was so far beyond my own expectations to
It's
actually.
not Taravarna, it's Nomad Works.
Nomad Works, yes,
so
yes,
it's
yes.
it's also American collaboration, yeah.
Yes, yes.
And it's also, like I said,
Sorry, thank you for correcting me, yeah.
God's ground and God's fields, but and both of them are working fantastic. And yeah, it's like the thing what you said, that Hungarian galleries really promote Hungarian artists. Of course, it's fine and it's very good, and I can say that we also promote
Absolutely.
a lot of Hungarian
Yes.
artists. But for me, maybe because I'm Russian by birth, and I got used to big countries, different nationalities inside, having some kind of exchange, cultural exchange, in everything, not only in art, also in foods, in theater, in dancing, and in way of thinking. So for me, it's very important when we promote not only Hungarian artists, but artists how they are from different countries, because it makes us much more rich, and from the point of view of our cultural background. Because it's always give us a new inspiration. So we have a Turkish exhibition here in Hungary, and we understand Turkey completely differently.
Oh, as a result of
Yeah,
that.
and after that, maybe I insert something into my paintings, or other people get some kind of inspirations, and so that's why it's so fantastic when. So last year in Teravarna, I don't remember for the figures, but I suppose we had 37 countries present. 37 or 38 countries.
Really.
And it is so fantastic when we saw people from Haiti, we saw people from Australia, we saw people from Israel, and a lot of American artists, of course, a lot of European artists from all countries possible. So it's so great feeling, because I think that in this world, there are not too much things that can unite people. We have too much things to divide, to politics, economics, different questions. But art, at least art, can be something which can be make together.
Do you know, I often talk about this. Music is the one language that we all agree, this is what music looks like on a sheet. And somehow music is like art. Well, it is art. It's magic. And so we agree for this magic language that we all are in consensus with how we use the language. But with our individual languages and our cultures, we're so... But, I completely support and agree with what you're saying about the, exposing oneself to other cultures, because I've been very fortunate. I grew up in a tiny town in the United States, in Wisconsin, 700 people, and it's still 700 people. I couldn't go back there. It's a beautiful place, but my world has grown too much, and to go back there, I would, as I told my brother, I would be a depressed alcoholic. I can do that here. No, I'm just teasing. But it's just my exposure to the world gives me a completely different framework to view the world from. And when I have conversations with people we have some friends coming in August to visit. They're going on a cruise, on a Danube cruise. And they've never been out of the United States. They're at my age, and I just think, finally, finally. So, and that cross-cultural exposure and the cross-cultural exchange is so important, especially now.
Yeah, because we are like, I don't know how you feel this, but when I was a child, everything seemed so far away from here. Being in Hungary and going to Portugal seemed, wow, so long time, so long journey. Live alone, going to the US or Brazil or anything. And now the whole world, it's like starting to be very close. Everything, we have been to the US several times. No, it's nothing. You just go there. Okay, we spend one night in France and then go spend 11 hours to Los Angeles, 7 hours or 6 hours to New York. And you are there. It's close. It's really close. And it's important to know more about each other, to understand better each other, because I still say that there are cultures that are, I mean, in the US, it's more or less the culture which is based on Christianity, but still for me, it's like a different planet. It's not worse or better. It's completely different.
Yes.
Working and acting on different principles. And it's so important for us to understand each other, because sometimes we even speaking about financial transactions. So how should we send money to the US? Americans, they use completely different ways. So we use PayPal and Wise, and I don't know, they use completely different applications or systems we don't have here.
Yes,
and we are not accepted there. So that is a problem. It's a big one. So going back to the career of an artist. So how do you think, what are the main difficulties? So you're an artist, and of course any artist would like his artworks to be admired and his artworks to be sold. Yeah. So it would not be so bad.
Yeah, after all.
After all, yeah. So of course there are some people who don't want to sell their art, but a very big minority. So do you find it difficult, or what ways you can imagine about building this career, about finding the ways to sell? Do you think that exhibiting your art is important?
Yes, of course. To gain exposure and visibility, so people can see it. Because if it's on the wall in my house, no one gets to see it other than the pedestrians. Yeah. No, I think it's very important. For me personally, I never really focused on it until coming to Hungary, because it was not such a significant part of my life. You mentioned earlier that you have 700 paintings or something. I've been using a thing called ArtArchive. It's an online thing. I've been using ArtArchive, and during COVID, I hired one of the art students to help me catalog all of my paintings. I didn't know I have over 300 paintings and sketchbooks and drawings and all of this stuff. And I've started taking the paintings off of the frames because I don't even have enough room. Just for storing
it. That is a big problem. Yeah.
So then it goes back to marketing. What do I do with this stuff? And here's why I wanted to talk about this in particular. Once I realized that one of my paintings was going to be in New York, it's like I fell off the edge of the globe and I didn't know where I was anymore in this notion of John as the artist. Because even John as the artist, I had to own that title here in Budapest. I never thought of myself as an artist, and no one ever called me an artist prior to coming to Budapest. And I was walking.
So just for those who watch us, Budapest is the center of the universe. This is the place where your self-evaluation goes to the top. Sorry.
I have one painting that expresses that. I was walking down Rada. It might have even been right here, because I remember we were walking in this direction. And I ran into a friend of mine and her husband, and she said, "Sergio the sculptor, meet John the painter." I had never thought of myself as a painter. And then I continued walking down the street, and I looked in the window. It was winter time. I've been wearing a beret since I was 30 years old, but now people think I'm wearing it because I'm an artist. But I had a beret on and a long woolen coat, and I looked in the window, and I saw my reflection. And what I saw was I saw myself, but the vision was a Rembrandt portrait, because Rembrandt always had...
I am reading in your brain, because it was my thought, yeah.
Yes, and that's what happened. So then I went home thinking, she called me a painter. I'm a painter. I'm an artist. And I started painting something, and I have a painting that includes me looking in the window, and there's a painting in the window that could be Rembrandt, but here's another little twist of the story. At the same time, when I moved here, I was trying to learn Hungarian, and there was a young woman who was my private tutor, and unfortunately, I became fascinated with her.
Oh. Oh God.
And so I had to stop the lessons because I couldn't concentrate. But then I put her painting, I put her portrait in that little canvas in the window, but I made it look like it could be Rubens or Rembrandt, or it could be Jouji, my friend, because she taught me something about myself, and that was, here I am, a happily married man, and I'm very comfortable in my life, and I'm infatuated by this young woman, and I said, what is it I'm looking for? What is it that I find in this person that I haven't found in my life that I would put in that energy? It was just a really profound movement for me. But then the whole painting came out of it. And when I get home, I'll send you, because it's my life in a nutshell, and it's on canvas. And but anyway, I don't know how I got on that topic, but it was about artists and marketing oneself. And yes, it's very important, but it's hard work, and it's a different. I was going to say different emotional experience, but different intellectual experience as well, because I don't think creatively, I think mechanically in marketing. I'm sure there's a lot of creativity involved,
But this is a different one. I mean, it's a different creativity that is needed by marketing.
Yes.
So I always think it's another part of your brain which is active when you're making marketing, because, when I speak about myself, I'm a gallerist and I am an artist, and it's as you see, no artworks of mine are here in my gallery, because here I am a gallerist. It's another gallery which is for myself. But for me, it's much easier to promote others' artworks.
I can understand.
Praising, that who see those artworks are fantastic. When I'm standing by my artwork, I'm just, like zipping my mouth. So even when somebody bought my artwork, I said, "Oh, poor guy." There are a lot of beautiful artworks all around the world, and he chosen mine.
No.
No, but it's it's marketing is completely different thing, and that is a problem that a lot of artists, as we see here in the gallery, they paint amazing art, but they don't have enough time. They don't have enough emotional space and strength
Completely agree.
to go to the direction of marketing their artworks. And the problem is that, as we said now, pedestrian traffic in your flat is actually
limited.
is very limited to the members of
Maybe I should stop charging at the door.
Immediately, like saying in John Steffen's gallery, kitchen part, so on. But still, if your artworks are at home, even if everybody knows that you are an artist, nobody will go and buy them. So that is a problem that you have to be exposed. That's why you have to put it in online galleries, offline galleries, take part in competitions and art shows, try to get some kind of maybe art residency or whatever possible. But the problem is that exhibiting your art doesn't automatically mean that your artwork will be sold immediately. So you just put it on the wall in one's gallery and it's sold.
It doesn't, yeah.
Is it normal for you? So, did you ever expect that? You went to the Golden Duck Gallery, to ArtBIAS, put your artwork here, and did you expect it to be sold immediately? Or was it okay for you that it was not sold, for example, during ArtBIAS?
Well, I don't think I really expected it to be sold as much as I was just honored to be involved, because I felt like just putting myself out there was already the risk, and whether it sold or not that would have been frosting on the cake, as we say. But that wasn't really my goal. It was just, wow. Actually, somebody appreciates it enough to want to put it in an exhibition. So, no, I don't think I was disappointed or had those expectations. Mostly for me, it was just, I mean, again, being in a gallery with other people's paintings and walking around, and then I think, oh my God, I'm such an amateur. You know?
It's classic.
So, and you know, and some of the paintings. I mean, I just keep looking at the one over there, and I think of Edward Hopper. Edward Hopper. I just can't get Edward Hopper out of my head. You know. Yeah. Marketing is so important. You know, one of the things that I thought about doing, and I started to pursue it, but then COVID came and I just lost my direction. I hired a marketing person who I was going to use as a part-time assistant to help me just promote myself, because I don't want to think about it, and it would be easier for me to just hire someone and let them advise me.
Yeah.
Because I don't. Well, you know too. When I'm painting, 2 hours can pass and I'll go, oh my God, you know?
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, and when I'm doing that, I would want to call it mechanical, but you know, only because it's like you have to know the systems. It's like, oh, you know, I've been here half an hour and I haven't even made any progress. You know, that's so. Painting for me is, it's like I get lost in the muse.
Yeah.
And marketing is like walking up stairs that you never get to the floor.
Yeah, exactly. And that is a problem so the problem with marketing is not like you do something once in a week or once in a month and that's it. So it's actually hard work. You always have to be there, and for me personally, it makes me mad. Because you need to make regular posts, you know,
Yes.
and you can. Some of the posts should be about your activity, about some of them about your personal life, some of them about materials you buy, and you have to plan it, you know, and it's terrible itself. And when you put it into an online gallery, you must make proper photos of your artworks, descriptions of your artworks. You must have your portfolio showing all exhibitions you took part in. And here we come with the necessity to be exhibited, because if you don't have anything in your portfolio, the buyer will say, okay, this artwork is good, but it's not so prestigious to buy it. So it works, unfortunately, it works in the world. So people not only watch your artwork, they only see the background. And that is the question which always we have with the artists who come and say, okay, I have to pay for the exhibition and it's not sold, then it was not worth doing it. And I say always that in my case, you know, I participated in some American art fairs, and they are really very expensive. So it's not like ArtBIAS, it's just several hundreds or $1,000 for several days, few days, I mean 4 or 5 days, and still it's not bought by anyone. I mean, not only mine, but the majority of artworks are not bought. But still, we can have this name like follow up. Like after the exhibition, things don't stop. So as you know, for example, we spoke today that you just went to the computer and saw the ArtBIAS and remembered that you were participating in ArtBIAS, because there is your artwork on the website, it will be there. And if somebody now, by the way, for those who watch us, it's Mr. John Steffen. Please look after his name on our website. And also on, I suppose you have your own website.
Yes, if they just Google John Steffen, it should come up.
Yeah, so and this is also, for example, like a collaboration with the gallery. It's also a promotion of your.
Yes, and for which I'm very grateful. Thank you.
And for us, it's a very great honor to host you here, because you know it's always like, you know, gallery. So for me, why I think that in many countries galleries don't do good work. Maybe they sell, but they are not so kind to either the artists or visitors, because you know, actually we as a gallery, we can exist only if we are enjoyed and loved by both artists and those who come in as visitors. You know,
Absolutely.
and that is, for me, it's very important because when we visited Los Angeles, we went to one of the galleries there, central one, a big one, and you know, we entered it, just nobody knew us. We could be persons who want to buy something.
Yes.
We were even not told hello or good day, and when we asked them questions, they did it like, you know, we were not wanted there.
Like we were disturbing them.
Yeah,
yes.
we were disturbing them, and actually we both we went there with my son, who is now just background of this, the whole process, and we actually didn't want to spend any time there. We wanted to leave, and I think, okay, we don't like when we go to a gallery and somebody wants to sell us something immediately. It's not
that's
good
just
either.
as uncomfortable. Yes.
But still, as a person, you would like some attention. You would like, you know, when you go there and people say, hi, nice to meet you, do you like art? What kind of art do you like? Maybe we are not able to show you the art you like, but look around. It's, you know, it's just a communication. It's
Yes. Do you know, I wanted to tell you also just about being an artist and sort of learning the ropes. Since I was never formally trained, and I don't think you were either. You have?
Formally, no. So I mean, if we speak about university or academy, no.
Yeah,
I was trained online. Okay, it was a special, very long course, but still online. It's
but we really, I mean, essentially we are teaching ourselves as we're going. I mean, we are learning from other. But I took old artist books. I mean, just, you know, the Renaissance artists, which appealed to me, and I just started painting those. When I first started painting, just, you know, the most important thing for me was to prove to myself that I could paint faces and hands.
Yeah, which is the most hands is the most difficult.
And I have several paintings where I really have nice hands. I could take them even further, but I thought, no, that's good enough for me. I'm not trying to perfect it. I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do that. Now, and this just goes having to not recognizing my own rhythm as an artist, because this is a new, John the artist is a new guy that I don't know very well yet. But so what I'm finding is, and I've always been interested in Salvador Dali's surrealistic art. And I'm just beginning to do that. I have a few paintings, but I'm just beginning to do that. And then I'm finally relieved because I don't have to make something look perfect. I can, although I'm still striving if I'm painting a vase, for example, or flowers. But it's more abstract or more surrealistic, and that for me is even more satisfying because the paintings speak to me. The paintings tell me what comes next.
Yeah. And actually, when you watch it, so it's not like a photo. When you watch a photo, it doesn't make you think or communicate with it. It's just a photo. But when you watch an artwork, there are different ways of interpretation. There are questions. Of course, there are a lot of artistic photos, so I don't want to discriminate the photos now. It's not the way like that. Alexander, is Taravarna there? No. I suppose Dr. Niladri Sarkar is in the airport, and he said that maybe he succeeds to join us, but maybe it's not the case. By the way, going back to the ArtBIAS, how did you like the exhibition? I mean, I don't remember. I suppose you were present on both of them, but it's no difference because still it was ArtBIAS in the same place. So
yeah, I think one of the pieces that I enjoy most about it is just the brief conversations that you have with the other artists and the people that are here. And then also, I think for me, at the exhibitions, yes, there are certainly a lot of Hungarians because we're in Budapest, but there were people from other countries here too, I love that blend of cultures that comes together. So here is an opportunity for that to happen, and it does happen through the ArtBIAS. And it's just wonderful. I mean, it's wonderful. It's flattering, I think, for an artist to wander around and recognize that your painting's on the wall with all these other paintings. And so I wouldn't say it's an ego thing as much as, well, at least it wasn't for me. It was more, how did this happen? So, and I'm grateful to you.
Oh.
It's because of the bird.
Yeah, for sure. We will, just for those who would like to come to our gallery, we will install a few bird nests here, just to them, to make proper jobs with our artists. Just, the most difficult thing is to teach them how to, because we don't have only artists here. We sometimes guests also come, and for the birds,
yes,
to make difference between an artist and the guests. So,
you have to train the birds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You have a good sense of humor.
You have to, being a gallerist,
Either you laugh or cry, right?
Yes, of course. It's always like that. So I hope, actually, ArtBIAS is a project which I hope will grow. And I hope we will have it as a really good tradition. So the fact itself that we are having it for the third time is already half tradition, or maybe already a tradition for 100%. So in our plans, together with Teravarna, we thought that it could be fantastic if we could make it a really international project, maybe to have some kind of exhibition in Los Angeles or in any other city of the US. As you know, we are the hosting part here, and maybe they will be the hosting part there. But so, of course, as a gallerist, I would say that it would be a fantastic thing if you guys take part as artists in ArtBIAS. It's not as I'm trying to sell you something, because I think we don't need it. We have really a lot of artists coming, but we always need more. Not because we all need more money. Of course, we all live from this, but because, it's so fantastic when we know and meet more and more different artists. And I always, it's like I always am so surprised that every day I see more and more amazing things, and they are all different. Like, like people with their faces, they're all different, and they're all, you can enjoy and love each creation. It's fantastic. And the same is with art. It's like always you come here, and the space of the gallery is different depending on what is hanging on the walls.
And the feeling, the ambiance of it. Yeah, no, absolutely. I was thinking also that when, as a fledgling artist, I would say that the notion of marketing, just to go back to ArtBIAS, the notion of myself, marketing myself, that was so far away from my thoughts, because I was just simply trying to learn how to paint. And then once I, through ArtBIAS, you realize, there's this whole other aspect, to get them off of the walls in your apartment into the walls in the gallery. But it takes, as we've been saying, it takes initiative. And you guys made it easier for me. You guys sort of, eased me into this process. And I haven't probably participated as much as I could, but I think I have one more painting that I might submit for you, because I think it's the deadline is April 30th for the.
I suppose, yeah. Actually, what is very interesting in all our exhibitions is that on the same walls, we have somebody who is just starting their career, emerging artist, independently of their age, because it's not interesting. And together with the artists who are already on top and had a lot of personal exhibitions and had a lot of success in this path. And this is great because we are not watching the papers and diplomas, and we don't watch the background.
Looking at the
we're just looking the artworks. This is. By the way, I wanted to ask you, what are your personal plans for the future? I mean, I'm not speaking about participating in ArtBIAS, but about your general.
It's complicated. My wife and I just recently bought a house in Thailand.
Oh, so that's why you are going to Thailand so
Yes. And we had been looking for quite some time, and we found a house, and we made it. We purchased it last year. we just came back from there, and it was the first time we actually stayed in the house that we bought.
Oh,
So it
wow.
was really nice. But in terms of plans, my wife has 2 more years before she'll retire, and we will stay here in Budapest as long as we're fit enough to go back and forth. And painting, the other thing that I haven't shared with you, or maybe I don't know if I've ever submitted anything, I do wood carving as well.
Oh,
But
John, it would be fantastic if you do, because I love 3D things, I suppose.
Yes.
Some sculptures or.
Well, mine at this point are mostly just like or carvings, because I don't have a wood shop, and it's mostly just hand carving. But it's still like a flat piece of wood, and for some reason I'm doing a lot of elephants because I like the elephant thing. But I'm of Buddhist persuasion, so I have several Buddha carvings that I've done over the years. And this goes back to your question: what do I want to do? I would love in the United States before we moved abroad. I had a wood shop, and when I was a younger man, I was a carpenter or woodworker. I built furniture, musical instruments, houses, blah 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 blah.
Wow, wow.
But at age 40, I went back to university to finish my bachelor's degree in international studies. And then I went to Vietnam, and Vietnam is where John the artist really began to recognize that he enjoyed this medium. But I only did sketches. I never painted, and then painting really only started in my 50s. So anyway.
What a fantastic way of life. I mean, so great. And actually, are you planning to say, you said that till you are fit and okay to move, you're here in Budapest, and then you're going to go to Thailand to live there?
That's the plan, yeah. Or I mean, as much as one can plan for these things, yeah, that's the idea that we have. But it's still very ambiguous for us because, in truth, both my wife and I, we cannot believe how fortunate we've been in this thing we call life. We've just been so fortunate. And I say this all the time to young people that, I tell my story. I've been to Asia, Africa, blah, 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 blah. To me, it all just sounds like a story, but for someone who's not done that, it's very inspirational. And I continually tell young people, and I tell anybody, believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. You don't even have to know how you're going to get to that thing that you believe in, just believe in it.
But even... Yeah, I believe in energy very much. So,
I knew exactly what.
Yeah, because when you believe in yourself and you have a dream, you never know when you're a child or you're a young man. You never know how you will be able to do that, how you can get money, how you can get. You don't. But somehow, if you have this dream and you send the energy to the sky, whatever, to God, to the universe. All of us call it differently.
Yes.
It somehow realizes, it somehow helps you to be there.
I like to use this metaphor. I'm walking down the road and I continually bump into a wall. I just keep bumping into the wall. And then one day I walk down the road and I see, oh, there's a door there.
Yes. Yeah.
I never saw the door before.
Because the time came.
Bingo.
So, yeah. So it's interesting, but really, I would be really very interested in your wood carving.
I'll send you some photos. Yes.
That's great.
There's one, the little bar up the street, which is my watering hole. There's 2 carvings in there of mine. One that I gave as a gift to Carly, the owner, and the other one is you can hang it there, but it's my paint.
So those are so fantastic stories, and if not gallery, we could live on the same street and never meet each other.
Yeah.
So that is, for me, it's a kind of, again, speaking about energies, when you have some new project or something like a gallery, or I don't know, ArtBIAS, it's not only a project, it's not only an event. It's a space where people could meet and could start different life together, and it's like I have goosebumps when I think about that. When we have a lot of people from the gallery who live on the same street, neighbor street, the same Budapest, the same Hungary, which is small, really small, relatively small to the
Yes.
US or Russia to Europe, and we could never meet.
No,
And now
yeah.
we know each other, and it's so pleasant feeling when I walk on the Rade Street and I see John leaving, we're going to the bar or going
Hopefully
to
you
his
didn't
flat.
see me crawling up the street.
So John,
That doesn't happen very often.
no, I haven't seen it. I never saw that, but I saw you. I saw you enjoying your life. You know. And
Thank you.
And by the way, Rade Street is good about this because it's like it's in the heart of Budapest, but still it has some hallmarks of a small place.
Oh, it's like a village.
Yes,
yeah,
like
it's
a village, a
yes.
small village within a big city.
Yes,
and
yes.
we all know each other, and it's fantastic. So it just was a very, very hidden advertisement of Budapest, of the Golden Duck Gallery, and Rade Street, where Golden Duck Gallery is situated, and our invitation for you all guys to visit us, whatever time you want, and we will love you coming to us. And so I suppose now we're more or less done.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And John, thank you. It was really great pleasure to meet you here. And here in the gallery, it makes it even more, I don't know, full of energy, love, future, and everything.
Yes.
It was a very long answer. Yes. Thank you very much.
No,
and
thank you.
Thank you guys for being with us if you are there. But we will save this video anyway, and you will have fantastic pleasure to watch us again and again, many times.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a fantastic day, evening, morning, depending on where you are. And we were happy to see you here and to know that you were with us. Goodbye. We love you all.